Hi, this is David Mongello. This is the second part of The Fix is In Before You Even Get to Vote. This informs local residents that are local elected officials, town board members, city, aldermen, every elected position at the lowest form of elected office, they're corrupting the system. And what we get out of that, we get dysfunctional government all the way up to the top because of the greed of our local elected officials want to control their own endorsements by becoming elected into a second position called the precinct captain or the precinct committee man or a committee man in New York State. They then in turn disconnect people from the next stage of government. These positions control who ends up on the ballot. They control who works at the Board of Elections. They control the party rules. And the most important, they end up control the endorsements. So by law, when you become elected in this position, by law, the party rules throughout the country, you have to be invited to some of these meetings. And these meetings are endorsement meetings, which should be basically in charge by the residents. Politicians should be chosen by the residents to be selected to get the endorsements. But now, for example, what we get is we get stuff like this in the mailing. Your proven fiscal leadership team, and it shows all the current elected officials. Almost all these people are already elected into a second position so they can endorse themselves. And it says, vote Tuesday. Keep your endorsed Republican, Conservative, and Independent Party members in office. Now, what they have done, for example, the Republicans here, is they have manipulated the conservative independent parties. They basically have infiltrated them through the committeeman process. And how they done that is they had friends and family members, maybe people they've given government jobs to, they put them on these committees, so then when the election comes up, they say, okay, we'll endorse you and give you that line and say you're the endorsed candidates, when in truth, the residents are supposed to control that endorsement. And to show how powerful it is, last year's governor race, the Republican committee in Niagara County prematurely endorsed this candidate back in December before even giving anybody a chance. But it shows party politics. It shows a lot of our elected officials and how they basically control the endorsements. If they're choosing our presidents and congressmen and senators and governors, what kind of government you're going to have? Government by the politicians, not by the people. Here's a video here that I found on YNN. So last year we had a governor's race. So one of the things that these elected positions do is they endorse candidates. The endorsements are actually supposed to come from the people, not the politicians. And at our last, at our reorganization, Rick Updegrove, because we were saying, you know, we're just disappointed that you guys endorsed Lazio and not Palladino. Really, they should have endorsed both of them, so then the residents can then decide and choose who runs. It's not up to the politicians to decide. Well, they think that now, but that's not the way it's supposed to work. It's up to the residents to decide. For here, for example, this was December 9th, or December of 2009. On the 7th, Niagara County Republicans endorsed Lazio for governor.
And we are proud to announce that the Niagara County Republican Party has endorsed Rick Lazio for governor of the state of New York.
Republican gubernatorial candidate Congressman Rick Lazio.
I'll pause this here a second. I'll show you right here. In the background, this is our county legislator, Rick Updegrove. This is our Republican chairman, Michael Norris, which is appointed by all the district committeemen that live in the areas, a position that you can easily take and be part of. Now, he was telling us at the committee meeting that he did not endorse Lazio, and right here he's right in the background endorsing him. If we go a little farther here,
self-support in Lockport Monday. Lazio says his base is.
Freeze it again here. Here you see Debbie Gaskell. She was the current Town of Lockport committee leader. This throughout the nation is considered the most powerful elected position that people don't know about. So these people are becoming elected, so their group basically stays in office. Here you see Mark Smith, our town supervisor, at an endorsement press release for Lazio. You see some legislators here and other very influential party people. Like I said, these people want to create an illusion like we have a free election, but if they're putting people on the ballot they support, not you support, do we really have a free country? It goes on just about through every town and community throughout the nation. all parties have been doing this, mostly the Republican and Democratic parties. They want to control who runs. The more you control, the more powerful you become. They appoint certain positions, and the primary example here, this party, the Republican Party in this instance, they did not want Palladino to even get on the ballot. So Carl had to spend $1 million extra just to get on the ballot, where if they would have gave both of them endorsement, he wouldn't have to collect any petitions to run. So this is the hardships that the party create against everyday normal people that want to run for office. Just to show you how this type of thing is covered up, here's a news on Chris Collins thing, the ballot tampering. And it's funny how they make a statement to this. Why don't you listen?
Well, commissioners from the Erie County Board of Elections now believe one of their own employees may have tampered with some absentee ballots sent out last week. And the Erie County Sheriff's Department confirms it is investigating the matter.
By the Board of Elections, and at all times were in the care and custody of a bipartisan group of employees.
No campaign has any access to these ballots.
They're basically saying that it's a bipartisan group that works at the Board of Elections. Well, in New York State, the only one working at the Board of Elections are Republican and Democrat. And you walk into the Board of Elections, it's almost walking into a war room sometimes. There's a lot of tension in there because on one side the Republicans are and the other side the Democrats are. Sometimes they'll mix their desks up. But how can you have fair representation when the parties are controlling who's actually working at the Board of Elections? And this is what these committee men actually do. A position you can just get, anywhere from 5 to 15 signatures from your neighbors, and you actually become one of these committee people. But the politicians don't want you to know that because they don't want you choosing candidates. They don't want you deciding who works at the Board of Elections. Our founding fathers were brilliant into making government safe for us. That's why if they put this low grassroots form of government in place, they know that the residents would keep it in order. But being we don't even know it even existed, we never even taught it, how are we going to know how it works? I have a lot of great videos here on mylockport.com website. I'm actually running for legislator. Here's how I can help you video I did really quick. I know I can do a better job. I'm limited in time on doing these, but here I have a very disturbing video of the legislators removing people from public speaking. Here's me at a town board meeting because I'm educating residents how to get involved. They're harassing me pretty bad, and it's getting pretty difficult for me sometimes to deal with this stuff. But I feel if we keep on working at this, we know we're getting to them. So if we get more residents involved and they see what's going on, it'll be finally fixed, and I'll keep on working at it. Here's another good website called Under Current Affairs. A guy from downstate New York did this website. Don't get disturbed by these documents. They feel that our presidents really don't represent us because the presidents are being chosen by the elected officials. Why do you think government is so dysfunctional? You got George Bush tearing up a constitution, and you got Obama with a communist symbol next to him. The politicians want you to think that it's good versus evil. It's Republican versus Democrat. It's Democrat versus Republican, and you try and make both parties look bad. Really, both parties don't meet their core values. Both parties don't represent the people. Both parties are full of special interests and money. This is why this country is getting worse and worse. If we don't get involved in this grassroots form of government, it's going to keep on getting worse and worse. There's a lot of good videos on this website, a lot of founding father documents. It's very interesting. And I'm going to go back to my website here, mylockport.com. Please watch. There's a few videos here. I would say the most important one here is Project 2010 Primary Challenge. Great educational video, about an hour long. It'll explain to you about the whole process, how to get involved and how to get active to fix what's going on. It's very, very simple. I basically ask people, would you spend 5 nights a year to save your country? Because that's really all it takes. In my opinion, I think a lot of seniors should get involved. They've been through life. They experienced their life. A lot of them are usually retired. So don't be afraid. Contact me if you want to get involved. My number is 716-998-2572. My email is dave@mylockport.com. Last year, a lot of residents actually ran. We have a few Vietnam vets, church pastor here. Here we have Pastor Larry Bentley. He actually ran for committee in his area. Here he is standing in front of his poll place handing out a postcard just to prove how it works. Here I went to Las Vegas, or Clark County, Nevada. Clark County was one of the first counties to be taken back by the committee process. These are everyday residents like you and I. And they got active in the process, and they controlled who ended up on the ballots, because that's supposed to be in your hands, not the politicians. It can easily be done. Like I said, watch them videos. Needing information, again, my email is dave@mylockport.com.